Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, Heavenly Father. Good evening, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ and Holy Spirit. I hope all of you are doing well today, guys. Back with another video. This video is going to be about the best budget strategies in 2024. Let's get right into it. So before trying out either one of these methods, which I think are the best budgeting strategies in 2024, please, you guys, I would highly suggest you have a detailed breakdown of all of your expenses and a detailed breakdown of your monthly, bi-weekly, or even weekly income before you try out to do either one of these methods. As well as having that list, both of those lists, I would highly suggest you guys know what your estimated cash flow number is. That's going to help out a lot. So here's an example of your cash flow. If you have $3,500 income and you have $2,500 of expenses, then you're going to have a breakdown difference, $1,000 cash flow monthly. If you're not exactly sure what cash flow is or what to do with your cash flow, make sure you check out my other video, what is cash flow and what to do with it. Let's get into the best budget strategies in 2024. Method number one, the envelope strategy. Everyone talks about this strategy. A lot of you probably have tried out this strategy. I've tried out this strategy. So let's get straight into it. The envelope method. If you already own envelopes, go ahead and grab about 7 to 10 of those envelopes, a marker, a pen, pencil, or something to write with. If you do not own envelopes, make sure you go to the store and buy some of those so you can try out this strategy. Once you have your envelopes ready, something to write with, we're gonna wanna label these envelopes. Here's how we're gonna do that. If you have rent, you pay rent, you're gonna need a rent envelope. So go ahead, write down rent on one of those envelopes. Most people that have rent, they pay gas and they pay electric. If that's you, go ahead and write electric on one envelope, and on a separate envelope, write down gas. We're gonna need that. If you have a car payment, we're gonna wanna label that car payment right on the top. If you have a car envelope, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna need to put gas in that car. So go ahead and write down gas money on top of one of those envelopes. And we all definitely need a work-life balance. So we're gonna wanna label one of our envelopes fun money. Try not to pay too much attention to this hat. It's my son's favorite. And I thought that I'd make this video a little bit fun, a little bit light. A lot of people think that expenses, finances, and budgets are scary. They don't have to be. We just need to switch our perspective just a little bit. So I figured maybe this hat will help you guys loosen up, get into the spirit of being a little bit more relaxed and having some fun. On to the next thing. We also will all need to eat, of course. So most of us that take care of that, if our parents don't or our roommates aren't covering that, we're gonna need to write down groceries on one of those envelopes. You get the point by now. If you're buying something every month and you find yourself buying it consistently, please, on one of those envelopes, label whatever that is. That way we can make sure we're keeping track of it and budgeting properly. So now that we have our envelopes and all of them are properly labeled, once our payday comes in, we're gonna wanna go to the bank and withdraw out cash. We're gonna take out 75%, and that's for most people. I'll tell you why later. We're gonna take out 75% in cash for our bills out of our bank account, and we're gonna wanna put the right amount into the right envelopes. The remaining 25% that's gonna be left in your bank accounts, we're gonna wanna leave that there, and here's why. 15% of that check that's remaining and still there is gonna be for your investments. We want to leave that there, and the other 10% is for savings. Both of those need to still be in a bank account to start accruing interest. And I'll go over that later. Also, I have tons of other videos on how to invest, why you should invest, and why we should be leaving the money in the bank account if we want to truly save. Warning, if you guys are bad at spending cash, even when you know you shouldn't, or you find yourself easily losing money, cash, this method might not be for you. Here's one more thing that I left out. The reason on why we're taking out the cash and putting it into the envelopes, once the envelope for gas money is empty, that means that we're going over our budget. And that's exactly what a budget is. A budget is just a way for us to make sure we're not spending more money than we should be. So if your envelope run out, you run out of money. You don't dip into another envelope or into your savings. So this is why the envelope method is very effective for most people, is because once that money runs out, they feel this accountability that they should not take money from somewhere else. So what they do is they don't spend more money. So this is how it can work for people. But again, warning, if you're not good with cash and you find yourself losing cash easily, this method might not be for you. So that was method number one, the envelope method. Let's move on to method number two. Alrighty, method number two. This is what they call the Autopay method. To do this method, you're going to want to have at least 3 bank accounts. So if you want to do the Autopay method, understand this requires you to have 3 separate different bank accounts. They can technically be with the same banks. I think it's good not to have it with the same banks, but you can have one bank, let's say Chase for example, and just open up 3 different check-ins accounts, or technically 2 check-ins and 1 savings account. So step number 1 for the Autopay method, we're going to want to make sure that we set up our direct deposits with our job to be divided into 3 different bank accounts. One of those accounts are going to be for our monthly bills only, nothing else. Another account is going to be for our daily spending, like gas money and entertainment purchases, like fun money. Lastly, one of those accounts are going to be for your investments or for your savings. This account, you do not want to have a debit card linked to it. I highly suggest you don't. Lastly, one of these accounts are going to be for your savings. What goes in never comes out. Step 2, set up all of your bills to be automatically taken out of that one account that's for your monthly bills. Again, I suggest that you don't have a debit card that is connected to this account. It'll help to make sure that you're not overspending or spending any money that needs to be in that account for your bills to be automatically taken out of. Step 3, you want to set up an investment account and make sure that your investment accounts are automatically debiting one of those accounts that's for your investments. That way, you're not worried about taking the cash or leaving the money in your bank account. You want that money to automatically come out and go into your investment account. Again, I highly suggest that you do not have a debit card that's connected to this account. No step 4 is needed, because when you divided up your direct deposit through your job, that 10% that's going to your account is for your savings. Let the money go into your savings account, don't check it, and let the savings and interest do what it needs to do. Here's a bonus tip. Both of these methods, I suggest using the 75, 15, 10% rule. That means 75% of your max income can only go to bills. 15% minimum of your income should be going to investments. And lastly, 10% minimum should be going to your savings account. Try and have those set up automatically if you're using the auto payment, and if you're using the envelope method, make sure you leave the money into your account so they can start accruing interest. So that's it for this video. I don't want to make it too long. These are what I believe is the best budgeting strategies in 2024. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave it below in the comments. Let me know what you think about the video. Again, I highly suggest that you guys break down your expenses, break down your income before trying either one of these, so you actually understand where you're putting your money, why you're putting your money there, and how to start saving and investing properly. Thanks for watching the video. Peace.